also support local schools with kickback programs and community events. And they always carry plenty of locally sourced meats and produce.
What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today took a surprising turn. I was supposed to work on the red CRX, but my mom wanted to clean the street and cut the tree. So we cleaned the street and then we gave the tree a bow cut. Look at it. Looks awesome, right? What also took a long time was playing musical chair with all of my cars. I had to move the giveaway CRX forward to make space for the wagon to move over there, to bring the all-wheel drive CRX here. And while I was doing all of that, I figured let's go turn on the KRX as well too, because I haven't turned it on since I left to Vegas. I was also supposed to go to the post office to ship out some stuff to Leo. I didn't get to that. Hopefully we'll get to it tomorrow. Since we're still in the garage, I figured let's put in some work in my red all-wheel drive CRX. And today, guys, in this video, we're gonna do the rear drive shaft and the viscous coupler. Kick this light on here real quick. So we have the viscous coupler sitting on the floor right there. That is a Freelander. And then we have my drive shaft. And then I have my drive shaft here with the 1310 joint on the end. And I'm gonna go ahead and just get the car up on jack stand so we can crawl underneath there. The first thing we have to do is remove the exhaust system. One of the legs on my tripod for my GoPro broke, so I'm literally just holding this in, trying to work. But max PD coilovers, guys. SP1 rides really solid in the CRX. Preloaded springs, stiffened up to full max, and this thing rides like a backbreaker. But you can always dampen it down to soften it up. I'm used to it, and this thing definitely has my thumbs up. Now I just gotta pop all these hangers off. Ouch. I figured since we are working on this side of the car, it does not have an axle because the exhaust was for front wheel drive and it would have hit the axle if I put it all together. So I took the axle out to do the exhaust a couple weeks ago. So now let's just go ahead and put the axle back in, which I want to say is this guy. Has to be this guy because it has spider webs on it. I didn't do the snap of the finger with this one. I just went ahead and did it. Axle is back in, secured. Everything is secured. I don't know if I want to do the drive shaft and the viscous coupler right now because I can't feel my toes for one, and I'm starting to not feel my fingers through these gloves. So what I noticed a lot of people do with the Freelander carrier bearing, if they're using the stock carrier bearing bushings and housing, they don't really need this little pedestal spacer thing right here. So what most people do is they cut it off, and it is only held by 2 spout welds. You can see it right here, one, and then one right here in the back side. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut them off because we are going to be mounting with the viscous coupler in the tunnel, and these mounts facing downward. So if I keep them on, it's only going to space the mounting further down, which then takes up ground clearance. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut all of these suckers off. Simple enough, 2 spot welds each, 4 of these little adapters broken off. And if you guys want to upgrade your carrier bearing bushings like OE style, you can pick them up from S1 Built. If you want billet version, which is just straight up bearing, no bushings, you can also pick that up from S1 as well too. So we're only doing the rear shaft and the viscous coupler in this video because I need the rear shaft attached to this, bolted up to the rear differential, to get the mounting point for the viscous coupler, to know our distance we're going to need from the front to, not the wall, the front to the transfer case. And we can get that one custom made as well too. So the rear shaft goes on the long end, which is here. So let's grab that. 1310 joint from S1 Built. They have the full kit if you want to upgrade this end as well too. And on the front shaft right now I only have it on the rear, but I do have the slip yoke for the front. So this goes on there. This is a little tricky because it is such a tight knit spot for the bolt. There goes the siren again. So after you secure the bolt, there's a little tab on the washer underneath it that you have to fold over, so that way the bolt doesn't back itself out. Now, should I put it in the car? The car is not high enough. Okay, well, I'm wedged on my subframe and I am not comfortable. Sorry for putting you guys cricket. My GoPro tripod is broken. One of the legs gone. And right now I just want to bolt up my drive shaft. Crisscross applesauce. This bolt is way too long. The cool part about these flanges provided by S1, there's a lip that sticks out on the flange side, which aligns the flange into the diff or the transfer case side. So okay, I can't turn the drive shaft because the e-brake is on. Let me go find another bolt. I guess for now I can just use a short bolt to hold the drive shaft in place. Okay, so rear drive shaft attached, Freelander viscous coupler just sitting on the jack stands, and it's going to be hard to hold the tripod standing upright and moving the drive shaft around to get it all nice and straight. So I'm gonna do that real quick, and then we'll show you guys. So this looks straight to the eye, and the drive shaft just needs to go up a little bit more at the viscous coupler to make it nice and straight and not drooping down, but ideally somewhere right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and tinker with placement of the VC a little bit more, and then figure out how we're gonna mount it. It is cold, especially laying on the concrete. I can really feel my bones shiver on the concrete floor. The concrete is really cold, and I just want to show you guys a little bit of the mount that I made for the viscous coupler. It's not fully done at all, but we're moving in the right direction. So if you guys look, I have this tube bracket that I made out of flat stock. I don't remember the size of this flat stock, but I got it from Home Depot. Had it in inventory. It was the 6 foot, so it did take a lot of material to make this mount. Let me show you guys. Starts on this side. I slid it, bent it, slid it again, bent it underneath the mount, did the same thing on this end, and it is resting up on the floorboard. It is not welded, it is not bolted, it is not secured just yet. The same thing for the front. I did the similar bracket, except this one is a little bit shorter in height. This one is about 3 1/4, like this. This one's about 2 inches, give or take. So it's so hard to do this on the floor. If you look, drive shaft is pretty tucked up there. It's nice and straight as far as the eye can see, and the lowest point of the viscous coupler is the 3-inch mount right there, but the front one's pretty tucked up. I'm not worried about it because it is, I want to say it is a little bit higher than the downpipe. You can see that thing is freaking hanging down there, but the car is not that low, so I'm not worried about it hitting or chucking anything. But we got the mounts. We have the mounts. I still have to, honestly, I'm not even sure if I'm going to do it in this video, because I don't think I want to stay out here later to freeze my butt off. But the slits that I did on the bracketry, it needs to be welded up. The seams need to be welded up so it can strengthen back up. And then I don't have any material to plate this onto the floorboard. I checked everywhere. I don't have any material there. I don't have any material on this end of the garage, but I need to go get material so we can strengthen up the floorboard so it doesn't tear out of it. So all of this needs to come back out to be welded up, and then I need to cut off the old mount right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We got the CRV rear diff with the S1 locking plates, the S1 1310 joint upgrade for the Freelander drive shaft, viscous couplers from the Freelander, and we still need to get the front all situated. I think I'm just going to spend another hour in the garage here, guys, and I'm going to mark the floorboard where we need to cut all of the rubber lining out for welding, and then I'm going to pull the brackets off to weld the bracket up, and I think we're just going to wrap it up there. So I'm going to do all that real quick. I have changed my mind again about this viscous coupler mount. Now, after laying here, just looking at my mount, this is going to work, right? Except there's a lot of underlining I need to clean off, remove the carpet, all that good jazz to secure it on the inside and underneath the car, right? And I was doing my research before starting this video of how people were mounting their viscous coupler, a Freelander specifically, into a CRX. So our frame rails on this car right here, this beam on both sides, is very far out from the center, where the DC, the EG, the EKs, the frame rail is along the tunnel. So they literally just weld a plate on the rail and then a crossbar that supports the viscous coupler carrier bearing, and then you know, secure it up. Ours is so far apart that you really have to use a long bar to go across if you want to use it. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I kind of want to use the frame rails to secure the viscous coupler. It's just going to be a very long, flat, thick bar to go from there to there. Now, SP Tuning, Pablo had done it on his CRX. I watched his video and I saw that he did it like that. His car did go fast. His car did hold up until he sold the car. And I kinda want to do that. So just so that I don't have to clean underneath the car a lot, upside down, as well as the inside of the car, all the sound deadening and all that, I'd rather just clean up the frame rails, plate that, and then get a long flat stock, a thicker bar to go from here to there, mount the viscous coupler, and then also add spacers and bolts in the middle of the flat stock to the floorboard, so there's no slop or no slack, no movement from here to the mounting point, and then the mounting point to the frame rail. It's a little confusing of how I explained that, because I kind of just got a little confused myself, but I understand what it is that I'm trying to do, so I'm not gonna prep anymore. I already did prep this side here, and then I was shifting the drive shaft over to know how much I gotta clean over here, and then the idea just popped up. Kind of feel like this video is now all over the place, because the goal here was to put the viscous coupler and the drive shaft onto the car secured, but when you're doing fabrication and things like this, you kind of run through a lot of ideas and try to find out the best way to go about the situation, and that's what I was doing all day. Pretty much it led us to right here. I'm changing the design once more. Probably gonna take care of all that tomorrow, because I do want this car back on the ground. I want to get the front drive shaft made, but the back has to be secured first, so definitely we'll take care of that tomorrow. As far as this video goes, I'm gonna end it right here. It's getting cold, I'm getting kind of hungry, and I definitely do not want to up and down, toss around, roll around on the floor deeper into the night. So progress is better than no progress, guys. Always remember that. The CRX is getting some loving, and kind of love-hate relationship, because I'm happy that it's going back to all-wheel drive, but I'm also sad that once it goes all-wheel drive, we're going to clean up the car and get rid of it. I am going to wrap up the video right here, guys. If you enjoyed the progress update a little bit on the Freelander drive shaft install into the CRX, not really an install, be sure to hit the thumbs up, and if you guys want to stick around and see this car back to all-wheel drive, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.